let me tell you, I went into the mall, and imagine you go into the mall and some guy walks up to you and says, hey, you want some fried chicken? And now you think, oh boy, I love fried chicken, but is this the test? And then he says, yeah, no, sure, you can have some fried chicken, but how much fried chicken do you want? And you weren't ready for the test. The test was, how much fried chicken do you want? You have to give him the right number, the number that will make him go, oh, okay, I'll give you that much fried chicken, and not, oh man, that's like too much fried chicken. And then, go down from there, and eventually, because of the way the moon is hitting off like the Chick-fil-A sign or like the KFC sign, like they do battle, and then you got to figure out, do you want KFC or do you want Chick-fil-A? And what if you actually want Popeyes, but there's no Popeyes around? Did you ever consider that? Huh? Did you? I don't think you did. I mean, I considered that because I'm smart, because I'm a cat. And play a little bit of Risk of Rain. This is one of my new favorite characters. This is a deputy sheriff lady, and she's real cool. I have a bunch of mods installed. I also have strawberries here. I eat them with my other mouth. Delicious. So let's get into some Risk of Rain. Man, I love Risk of Rain. I was trying to play this game called Evil West, but let me tell you, that game just kind of felt weird and cringy to me. Well, most of the dialogue. I think if I just, muted the dialogue, it probably would be fine. But that's honestly me in a lot of games where, I feel like a lot of dialogue just starts to sound, really unnatural, And, the longer you're going around in it, it's just like, oh, man, this is the bad. Or, basically what you want to do, or at least for me, I always try to imagine, okay, imagine these are two people who are actually interacting. Will they talk to each other like that? And that's usually... Ooh, fireworks. Fireworks are fun. And that's usually a good way to determine whether or not the dialogue, I think, is, good. Or, if you're writing dialogue, you can read your dialogue out loud, and then you can say, hey... does this sound correct? Does this sound like... I don't actually know what this is. Here, let's do that. Let's try it out. Okay, this is Malice. Your text is... Oh, that's interesting. Has a bunch of extra damage. I like extra damage. Would you like to be damaged?
Here, let me go back in time so that I can make it so that you're raised by a parent that kinda cares, but not really. Then you'll be damaged.
See? And then we can create an interesting character. That's another thing that's kind of annoying is when you read somebody's character description for a character in a book or something like that, and the only thing they got going for them is that they have a quote-unquote tragic backstory, and then you're just but why would that make them interesting to read? And then people do seem to like that, though. People do like the whole idea of oh man, person is bad and damaged, so that means that they are much more interesting in brain thinking. And it's I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of I've been playing a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3, and the longer I play it, it's well, romance is a thing, and I'm a romantic cat. I love me romance, but every character feels well, all of them. No, maybe not all of them, but a lot of the ones I've run into, they all just feel like they have these really weird, tragic backstories that make you go, "Oh, that's unfortunate, honey. Oh." And it's oh man, this is just baggage simulator. Everybody's got so much baggage. I mean, we already got an extra passenger and a little brain parasite wiggling around in our brain going. But I mean, now you want me to listen to some vampire who sounds like a theater kid telling me about all his problems, and it's man, I don't want that. I had a chicken bite with my other mouth. Nom nom. You fool! But I don't know. And it's not even that like a character with a tragic backstory is always bad. It's just that they're very rarely written in a way that makes them seem like anything other than like a one-dimensional character that has this tragic thing. I am sad. I am sad because bad event happened to me. Okay. What else? It's like, did you have? Are you funny at least? Are you interesting? And even then, like, they do this thing where sometimes they want to make him like, oh, the comedian is like very sad, but he's also, he has so much tragedy, but he also say joke, and you go, oh, joke is so good. It's like, well, not always. In a lot of cases, it just starts to feel lame. Like, when people talk, right? When just do people sit down and talk, unless they're talking to someone like me who's a weirdo, they tend to have pretty normal conversations. They don't tend to be like, oh man, you're like 2 weeks from retirement, or oh hey, what's my dad gonna do, fire you, you're retired. That was a line from the Evil West thing that I just like, oh very good. But I also feel like a lot of people I talk to just don't really care about that sort of thing. They just listen to the dialogue, and provided it seems even remotely like things two people would say to each other, people are fine with it. Or some people actually like it when it's really like ridiculous and like that. And it's like I understand that, and that's perfectly fine. That you don't. It's not like you have to adhere to my taste. It's just that always takes me out of it. Like, especially if it's like just supposed to be like two people, teddy bears, two teddy bears. Especially if it's just like supposed to be two people interacting and they just start talking to each other weird, and you're just kind of like, why the fuck are they talking like that? It's like, ugh. Or when it's like, how tragic it was back at the event. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna learn about this guy's tragic backstory of being a nerd who got bullied in high school, so now he carries a gun with him, and that's why he's the Lone Ranger. And you're like, oh, cool. Okay. I have a gun. You can't get close to me if I have a gun, because who knows how dangerous it is when you get close. But if you're far away, I'm still dangerous, so I guess it's just kind of a lose-lose scenario for you here, huh? I'm sorry. But, yeah, I don't know. Which is kind of, all this is to say, that was kind of lame, because I always like the idea of, like, monsters and zombies and things like that in, like, a, Old West type scenario. Yeah, take one of my teddy bears, that's fine. I could use some extra damage, I guess. But, yeah. I mean, like, I really like, Hunt Showdown, like the world that Hunt Showdown creates, even though it's so grimy. Because I think it does a pretty good job of, making that world and making that world feel like a gross world that people live in, or like a place where like people used to live, and then the Zombambo curse happened. Well, thank you. I have comic book character movements. What do you have? A laser? Doesn't matter. Can jump over you. Thank you. I'm trying to remember. There's only a couple places where the bulb thing, the lunar thingy, can actually spawn. So I'm trying to remember where those are. Oh, that's good that I was looking around for it, because then there's also a chest. But yeah. I don't know. Oh, I also completely walked by this thing. Ooh, thank you for the fungi. Fungi amungi. Alright, I should probably get her going here. Got no. I don't know. Well, one last place I'll check. And I can't even remember this is one of the places where it spawns. But yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's sort of like how Marvel characters talk to each other, where everybody's got a quip. That always feels very like, I don't know, just kind of sterile, or it feels very like not really how people talk. And then like sometimes I've met people who like try to talk like that in their everyday life, and you're just like, ugh, I'd really prefer it if you didn't do that. And it's like, and I understand people like to talk like they're silly billies and things like that, but sometimes it's just like, man, dude, why are you trying to talk like a comic book character, you know? Like, it just does not... It just does not work for you. Hey, those people have riders. You see. And those riders make it so that silly dialogue comes off better. Yeah, I can't remember the other places where the silly thing spawns. So we'll just get going. Wandering vagrant.
Oh no! It's like I'm mall security!
Where's there R? Oh, that's right. It teleports me over there. Then I did a shooting, and I killed all the bugs. But I also killed the evil jellyfish, because they tried to kill me first. It was totally in self-defense. Let me tell you about my time on defense. On defense. Yeah, it was totally in self-defense. You can't say it wasn't because I just had a gun. Oh, Lord. Ow. Uh-oh. Yeah, there's an explosive thingy there. That's why I maybe shouldn't have taken that till later. Because I didn't have a blocky thing for that. But that's fine. Let's see. What other... This is one of my favorite characters here, Artificer. We'll play her for a minute. But yeah. It's kind of like how being a Warhammer nerd, right? Sometimes I read Primarch dialogue and it's just like, oh, this is just like two superheroes chatting, which is, I guess, fine sometimes, but like, I don't know. Kind of the same thing where to me it just feels very out of place. Or it kind of depends too, like I feel like good dialogue is not necessarily the most difficult to write, but a lot of it is also like dependent on taste, right? Because for all these things I'm complaining about with like, man, that just sounds unnatural, there's a lot of people who just don't even care. Like, they'll hear the dialogue of the two superheroes talking and be like, oh yeah, no, that's just fine. That's just how people talk. It's like, is it? Is it really? And they just don't really care. So it's like, well, you know, you gotta kind of, excuse me. You kind of gotta know your audience, right? Like, if you're writing for, like a serious, like if you're writing for like a serious thing, like a drama, if you're writing for a drama, you wouldn't write like Marvel MCU dialogue type stuff, right? But if you're writing for like the superhero movie kind of thing, you can kind of get away with a little bit more of that. It's sort of like how some people really, really like the way Joss Whedon writes characters, and other people are just like, I would really prefer it if you just didn't. I prefer it if you just, you know, didn't. Ooh, a little weird jellyfish thing. I don't know what the jellyfish thing was. Okay. Cool. But yeah, you know, it's that kind of stuff where it's like, if you know your audience, it'll be fine. Just like, for instance, like in a Warhammer novel, sometimes the characters are expected to talk a little bit like a, kind of like a cartoon villain. And there's like lines where you can make it so that they're a little bit sillier or a little bit less silly, but you gotta be like, you know, like a lot of it is also in like the mood of the scene. It's not like an individual line will usually determine it, but like, you know, like a wrong line in the wrong place can really take somebody out of a scene. Teddy bear. Where like I've tended to notice that like when I have given up on movies or just started to laugh at a movie where I'm not supposed to, it's almost always like a dialogue. And so, sometimes it's like if a movie is just taking itself like too seriously. It's just like you, where like I keep getting these weird things on YouTube where I don't know what I must have clicked on something that caused them to think I wanted to watch it. Well, maybe it's because I keep getting them in like these short things. So now they're just like, okay, now we're gonna bombard you with them. But I keep getting these little YouTube shorts where it's like, it's like a random masculine guy saying something shitty, and then everyone is like, and then like epic music plays. Or another one that I keep getting is like some guy going after a girl, and because she'll say like no or something, it's like, keep on, kings, go, kings, kings, kings. Or if she says yes, it's like, come on, kings, there's always one for you, king. It's like, I suppose I understand that, but I have to wonder, does that actually I mean, it must motivate somebody, right? Like, because people, I do see people who like get to like see that kind of stuff and seem to like it. Or I've heard about people doing that. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody do that, and it always kind of just makes you go, what is this the reaction? Like, what is the reaction to this? Like, do you not feel at least a little pandered to when someone, you know, talks to you and they just keep calling you king? Like, if it's kind of in a joking manner, obviously that's fine, but like, I don't know, if someone just like kept calling me king and was trying to like King Cat, I don't know. This seems odd. I'm Fluffy Cat, not King Cat. You silly Billy. You know, like, oh hi, how are you? Whoop it. I don't like that you can target me from down there with your little boy powers. Your tiny rock boy powers. You should not be able to target me. I'm too cool for that. Ooh, Titanic Knurl. Just what I wanted. Oh, that's right. When you're in this thing, it disables all these other abilities. Which is annoying. But I was like, why can I not charge up my other attack? That's why. I don't know. It's kind of like how, like, you can tell that certain YouTubers are like really trying to like, or like just people like in general are like really trying to like get by on their looks, and it's just like, well, it's like if someone just puts on like a ton of makeup and they want to do it for themselves, that's fine. But I've also met people who would like, I'm gonna put on a ton of makeup because I'm trying to impress you, and then I'll find out that they're trying to impress me in particular. It's like, why do you think that would work? I don't know. I mean, like, what? How do you think this works exactly? Like, I don't know. People are just kind of odd. Humans are odd creatures, but I suppose it does. It must work at least a little bit because like people seem to like it. So then I'm over here just being a little bit of an alien cat, going, odd. I mean, it's kind of like how like in an anime or something, like if you're watching an anime and there's just all of a sudden just titties everywhere or just butt everywhere, it like doesn't. It feels distracting in the sense that it's like often not even very, it's just like gratuitous and I mean often kind of lame. Like if you're watching an anime for the horny, I guess that's fine. But like if you're just trying to like if I'm watching a One Piece and all of a sudden it's just like 80 shots of Nami or Robin's boobs, right? Like it just feels weird and disingenuous to me, and it feels like, yes, you're showing me those things that are supposed to get a certain reaction from me, or maybe you just enjoy drawing them. I don't know. It's kind of like sometimes with Berserk, when I was watching Berserk, there was like everything's fine, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, do you know what time it is? It's like, what time is it? It's time for the sex scene, and sometimes it's time for the rape scene. You're just like, wait, why is this a scene? Do we have to see this scene? And a lot of time, like with the female characters, like with Casca, it's just like every other. It felt like every other scene after a while was like, just. And now they're going to try and put things in her. And I'm like, I would really prefer it if that was not the case. And it's like, I understand, I guess, that it's like supposed to be a horrible world where people, I guess, would do that. But it's like, why would I want to watch that then? And Berserk was okay overall. I mean, I really like some parts of it, and other parts of it, I'm just like, this is... have my fuel array. Get charger upgrade. Gain recharge shield double. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty decent, I guess. Ooh, clover. Clovers are nice. But I do not have the items for you. I guess I could have. Well, no, actually, I couldn't. Look at Lizard Friend. Newt Friend. Hello. Hey, how are you? And now this lady will follow me around, which is nice. Well, I'll get some crit glasses, because crit glasses are good. And a bit of sticky bomb. Sticky bomb, sticky bomb. Oh, and because I have so many lunar coins, because of cheats and things, I could just get a bunch of these and get, like, infinite pearls in this area. So I'm just gonna grab one just to get one pearl. Pearl! Pearls are nice. Oh, look, it's just kind of floating around me, I think. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's neat. Got rocks and pearl floating around me, and a little jellyfish. I feel stylish. Stylin' and profilin'. Oh. But yeah, I don't know. That's just the way I feel. And maybe I'm a silly Billy Cat. It's kind of like when it's like, hey, you know, I understand liking butts. Big butts are nice. And so are big boobies and big panas and all that. Sure, whatever, man. But like if I'm watching a scene and then you just like randomly throw out there just like a random character just suddenly just chonging their dong and out, you know, or like their tits just in your face all of a sudden, it's like, that's just not very appealing to me. I guess some people like that, but I mean, some people like going to strip clubs, and I don't understand that. It was actually funny. I remember there was one time I was hanging out with somebody, and we were outside of a place. We were at a building that was like across from a strip club, and like the amount of dudes who would just like they would go in, and you could see like vehicles going in, and then they were pretty calm. But then like they'd spend a little bit of time in there, and they would like leave, and they would just be like so. Like, I'm pretty sure that it's just because they were like raging horny at that point. They just go as they were leaving, and it was just kind of funny. The amount of times I saw that happen was pretty ridiculous. Thought processor. Although it was only there like twice. I've never been inside of a strip club, so I guess I don't actually know. Oh my goodness, it's like on my head. That looks silly. I honestly almost kind of want to like scrap that item just because I don't like that on my head. It looks silly. Even if it's a good item. If you make me look too silly, then I'm getting distracted. Oh, wait, is it up here? I don't see anything to indicate that's up here. Doesn't look like it's down there. But hey, you know, that's just kind of me, man. It's kind of sort of like how in the furman community, the furry community, if you will, like a lot of people are just like ultra horny. You know, like you just walking around trying to be a cute little cat, and then people are like, hey, it's like, stop it, I don't like it. I don't like your weird horny. You can go be horny over there. Find other people who wants to be horny with you. And sometimes it's like they're just being played. It's or like you'll go somewhere and then like people are just like all like for some reason all over each other, and it's just like, why are you like this? I would prefer it if you were not. But then again, it's also like a thing where like it's like with peoples, right? Like, you know, people can be weird and horny, I guess, but like they don't have to like adhere to my policies. But it like if you're like there's like some folks that really are just like kind of horny all the time, and it makes it difficult to have like a normal conversation because you're just like you're just trying to hang out and do your thing, do your dang thing, your thing, your thing. Ooh, another red item. I don't get excited red items. I don't even know what that one does either. Hello, I would prefer it if you stopped shooting me. Oh, it's not here. Interesting. Okay, so if it's not there, I didn't look like it was under the bridge. But you know, it's fine. That's pretty. Although to be fair, I'm saying all this stuff. I'm just talking about my preferences and things because I'm a weirdo cat, man. Apparently, some people really like the weird flirtiness. They like it when you like walk when they like walk up to you and they just start going, "Oh, hey." And it's like, hey, you know what? If you're into that, great. I'm glad that you got stuff you're into, bud. It just ain't the sort of dealio for mealio, you know? And it's not even like it's like a judgment thing either. It's just like, eh. Why are you talking to me like that? Why are you trying to get into my pants? And it's weird because I'm a cute little fluffy cat. I would think people would want to pet me, but I've met people who are like, hey. It's like, oh my. Excuse you. Do you like fried chicken? And they're like, is that fried chicken? Yeah, do you like fried chicken? And oh, there, it's up there. Okay. And then they're like, well, yeah, I guess I do like fried chicken. Okay, let's go to KFC. Or better yet, let's go to Popeyes. I like Popeyes. Popeyes got good Cajun fries. Well, I just really like their... I like Popeyes chicken a lot. It's weird to me how much I like Popeyes chicken. Because most like fast food, like chicken places, it's like, yeah, it's okay. Or, oh, you know, this is pretty good. It's very rarely like, nom, 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 nom. But I see a Popeyes, my brain says, I want some of these biscuits. Delicious biscuit having. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's like... It's that kind of thing where, like, you want everybody to be able to live their life happily and be able to be the kind of person they want to be and not really have to worry about it. Like, you know, they're not trying to please you and they shouldn't be trying to please you. And that's good. But then there are also people that I'll meet that, like, want to be friends with you. But it's like, sometimes they'll be, like, so... like, their personality will be so vastly in conflict with your own, or they'll do, like, a bunch of things that you just don't care for. And it's like, you're not really judging them for it. You're not telling them, oh, man, you're a bad person. But, like, yeah, I don't necessarily want to, like, hang out with you, and know what I mean, Jimmy Dean? Oops, I missed that one. Stop sending your silly billy little wisps after me. See what happens? I didn't want to bully you, but now you've made me. What's this? Ooh, that's like a staff thingy. Impaler. Oh, that's interesting. But yeah. I don't know. Those are just some of me thoughts about different things. It's kind of like how pardon me, for instance, like if you made like there's like this Korean artist that made female Primarchs, and like part of me really likes the cool big muscular lady idea of like carrying me around and petting me and like being girlfriend or being just friend. Because, you know, being friend would be nice too. Being petted would be nice. It's like, okay, cool. And like, but then like you'll talk to, it's like you'll all talk to people and like, even if you're not talking about, I don't even know why I brought up the female Primarch thing, other than I think it's cool. But if you talk to people and people like some people have like they like these Primarchs that are like they like Conrad Kurz, and there's a lot of Primarchs I don't really care for, but I at least kind of get it. When you like Conrad Kurz, it's kind of more like, okay, but why? Like, but why? Oh, he's a tragic character. That it? And then it kind of goes back to my original point of like, I I I feel like I'm being pandered to when people start bringing their like tragic backstory stuff to you. But then other people are like, "Oh man, I just love a tragic backstory." And it's like, okay, I mean, we live in a world, and there's lots of people in this world, and there's lots of people in this universe, lots of different places you can go. And you know what? Sometimes that means you just gotta accept that places you're gonna go, people aren't necessarily gonna agree with you, and aren't necessarily gonna be perfectly to your liking. But because they are all children of God, you should love them all anyway as best you can, and try to be as polite as you possibly can, and try to. I know that reduces cooldowns, but I just don't care. I don't like the thing on my head. Um, and you should try to be as cool as you possibly can to everybody, and you should always try to be loving and understanding. But understand that you are also allowed to have boundaries, and that you are allowed to dislike certain things without people being able to say, "Hey, you have to like me because I do this thing." It's like, no, I don't have to like you. I just have to treat you well, and then you should treat everybody well. You know. I don't know. That's just some thoughts I felt like sharing while playing Risk of Rain 2. And hopefully you enjoyed my cat babble thoughts. Thought babble. Thought babble, thought babble. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Also, fried chicken is good. But you know, hey, if you didn't eat chicken, I also understand that. Man, it's a crazy world out there. So you should just take the goodness where you can find it. Be good to each other. And try to be as loving as you possibly can to those you love. Know what I mean? Tell people you love that you appreciate them. That sort of stuff. Simple. Okie dokie. I'm gonna get going here from this because I just wanted to babble for a little bit with the Risk of Rain in the background. I hope that you all have a great day and have a wonderful time and are blessed by God, because you all are blessed by God. And I hope that you all have big hugs and nice things in your life. Okay, bye. Love you. Bye. Fluffy buys.